Welcome everyone to a global exclusive podcast. Actually, Dream, is it stupid that we
were we gonna
introduce
have?
every episode like that?
Um,
I mean,
I
people
don't know.
fucking
It's
clicked
like
on the episode, right? So, I mean, like, you fuckers, you know what you clicked on, right? I mean, I hope you did. Unless, do you know if YouTube has like a TikTok like flow where you can just scroll through videos and you get a random video and you don't know what the fuck it is?
I don't think so.
That would be hilarious though, because there would be like some fucker sitting there wondering why there's a red crystal on his screen and who the fuck these two are that are talking. It'd be pretty
Maybe.
interesting though. All right, so yeah, welcome to. I'm not gonna say what you're welcome to because we've already started the episode and I'm definitely not editing this out. So yeah, welcome to whatever video you clicked. I hope you knew what the fuck you clicked. Hey Dream, this has been a while.
Hello. It's been a while.
It has.
Timings have lined up quite badly.
Ah, that was a very nice way of saying Bharos keeps forgetting to go to like wake up at pod time.
I mean, most weeks I've checked in the Discord, seen you're not online, and be like, I'll go back to sleep.
I don't blame you. I don't blame you. Yeah, it's just been crazy in my life too. Like now people are gonna realize how much of a boomer I am. So our normal recording time is 11 p.m. and like that's too late for me on some days because it's been really tough. New job, all kinds of shit. I just haven't been able to be
And
up.
then the reverse for me is that the normal time recording here is 9 a.m. and that's too early for me.
Yeah, 9 a.m. Yeah, by that time I have dropped off kids at school, played some piano. I have had my morning tea. I've had some breakfast, and I've also done a solid amount of work for the day too. Just saying. But hey, you're gonna grow up someday too, right?
Never.
Yeah.
Never.
Okay. All right. So we're doing this small talk because there's really not much to talk about in this banner. So, we're trying to fill out the episode in some way because then YouTube plays more ads and pays us more.
We don't have ads enabled.
Yeah, true, true. Okay. All right, all right, all right. Enough tomfoolery. Let's actually
Just
talk.
catching up.
Yeah, let's actually talk about what people wanted to hear. And it's about these awesome, amazing new units. Well, actually, they're not that bad. I'm not going to sound sarcastic. They're not bad. Yeah.
I guess.
Well, I mean, you can't blame them for being like they're definitely not imaginative, but they are strong units.
Yeah, competent, let's say.
So, Dream, I'm gonna guess you're too young to have played ActRaiser on the SNES. That is correct. Okay.
I don't know if it's an age
Yeah,
thing
exactly.
Well, I mean,
But it is to be fair, it's an age thing because it's not like Nirvana or Metallica that like age doesn't fucking matter. It's more like it's a pretty obscure game. So I'm kind of assuming like if you weren't around then you didn't get a chance to play it is what I'm thinking.
yeah, probably.
But it's this pretty weird little game that's kind of half a town sim where you're kind of being God and helping your little sims survive different things, and half a side scrolling action platformer where you're a big dude with a sword and spells. It's super weird.
That kind of blend actually sounds kind of like the idea of a modern game.
Well, it was incredibly, how do you say, novel at the time. Yeah, for sure. And it's a great game. Like I recommend people to try it out on the SNES. So we are getting the ActRaiser collab, but this is based on a remake that I know nothing about though. So I don't know if I can recommend this or not.
Okay, good talk.
Good talk. But it is a good game. It has a kick-ass soundtrack. So for whoever wants to, check it out, like the soundtrack is actually amazing and it plays really well. Don't play the second game though. Anyway, this is not the ActRaiser podcast, and you don't know what podcast it is because I haven't even introduced it. So nobody knows what podcast this is. We got a free unit.
The event, in quotes, consists of one free unit and nothing else.
Didn't we get like? But wait. We're supposed to get some extra shards through some daily shit, right?
Oh yeah, there's a daily login calendar that gives like 10 shards per day.
No. But isn't there a quest too? Because like you won't be getting him to EX3.
Right, it's not a daily, but it's one of those just quest tabs of like complete X missions.
Oh, I actually
similar to like the the FF10 box summon ones.
Right, I had no idea, but okay, so there are quests and you can oh okay, look, I have some shards here I can get. It seems like the quest is just clear X quest, just like you said, just like in
Yeah,
the
yeah.
Final Fantasy X event.
Yeah, it's all just clear quests up to like 120 or something.
Yep. And you have up until the 27th. So
Yeah.
it's
You'll
quite a
probably
lot of
get it
time.
from just farming Vision World and stuff and the raid from last week.
So tell me, Dream, you are the math queen. So should I be even caring about these shards in the quests?
With when we are getting him, because he's very late and not buff, not really. It's pretty bad. I mean, because his niche in JP being able to do kind of pretty strong chaining moves every single turn,
Right.
or as long as you fill some LB on him because they cost crystals, and one of them was imbuable like physical type magic attacks. So that was like reasonably useful because JP doesn't get much in the way of sustained damage dealers.
Really? Oh, so
But
that's
between
something they
him,
don't have?
yeah, not very often, especially not elementally flexible.
Okay.
But yeah, with us having him being late plus the global options we have, it's going to be very rare that he's actually useful.
Well, I mean, he is free, so I guess,
Yeah,
can we even complain? I guess we can, but
I
he is
guess.
free. I guess a good way to measure his power level is that like Sinzar is not using him on his free account or on his alt. So although he has been shivering quite heavily on that account. But what I'm trying to say is like I'm
But
not even
I
sure
guess
new players would use this. Like if this was your first unit, then maybe. But other than that, you'd be replacing him pretty soon, right?
pretty quickly falls off compares.
Yeah, yeah.
I
Okay.
mean the free helmet from his STMR is nice, I guess. It's
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
50 attack and magic, 50 TDH to both.
It's decent. It's decent.
Maybe if you're building like TDH Starlight Alina, she used. I'm
Yeah,
not
like
sure.
like a unit that might actually need those 50 TDH because you're forcing it on someone. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Okay. Unfortunately, his TMR, even though it's actually pretty dope, is locked to himself, which is
yeah.
something I learned during
It's
Newsday.
it's his unique weapon, but the problem with it is it's a nice big two-handed weapon, but because he has no multicast, you kind of want to dual wield him for using his chains, so they cast twice.
Oh, okay. That's the best way to use him, of
Yeah,
course.
but
Ah.
because he is kind of badly, the gap between the TDW build and the TDH build is actually like not too.
Oh, okay. Interesting. Interesting. Okay, well, it's a unit that we got for free, and it sounds like if you really don't want to, you don't even have to do the quests. Although, why wouldn't you? Or rather, you're probably gonna do it anyway. You can't really miss doing
Yeah,
120 quests over a month.
they'll just be kind of passively completed.
Yeah. Okay, so that was one banner or event that, as you said, is fairly eventless. To be fair, I don't even know why we got
Very.
like Alim, I just don't get them. Or sorry, Gumi, I just don't get Gumi. So we're not getting these free unit upgrades that are just coming along with the game if they just copy, the stats from JP. But they put in this fucking unit.
Yeah, they'll just be like, surely this will pacify them about the skipped content. Like, look, we do not skip things.
It's so weird. Like if you get to choose to add one thing into the game, I'm sure 99.9% of players out there would have preferred one old unit upgrade. Like for instance, Zidane. Like fuck Lord of Light, leave him untranslated, and could have given us Zidane upgrades, and that would have been a much bigger hype, and people would be logging in and having fun. But no. Okay. All right. All right. I'm not going to be too bitter. Let's actually move on
I
to the
guess
banner.
he's a bonus unit for Jin World
Oh,
farming.
good point. Yes, yes, he is actually 300% even. So do make sure to get him for that as we start farming the last stage. When is this? Does the last stage open?
I think it's on the 10th, so like 4 days into this week after maintenance, probably about when this episode will go out.
Wait. So on the 10th, what date is? That's not a Thursday, is it?
No, it's like a midweek one, I think, probably the Monday.
So
As
speaking of
far as I know.
Monday, I know I'm like jumping back and forth here, but you're used to it. Have they fixed the whole? They fixed the whole Monday thing now, right? Because by moving all the fragments into the other shop, we will be getting no more Monday resets, right?
Yes, they have fixed them, in quotes, by taking them out of the JP tab that has resets that they can't get rid of.
Yeah, and put them into the tab that they fully control and can just
Yeah.
leave for as long as they want. Yeah. It's a very smart move. I'm a bit sad they didn't do it sooner, but
Yeah, in hindsight, like, kind of an obvious solution.
it is. But you know what? It's easy to have 2020 hindsight. Even though this was
Yeah.
a really low low one actually to catch before. Okay. All right.
Oh well, people are back to having their 50 immediately.
Yeah, and I guess a part of the player base might be sad. So I've never asked you this, but which one would you have preferred?
I'm not sure. I think it like very much depends on how events line up, because I think with the temporary new system that we had for half a week, I think the actual total amount of shards was going to be higher at 60 versus 50 from memory.
It's
But
75, I think.
oh, even better then.
Yeah, but
I
you're
thought it
gonna
was
have to
60,
wait
which is
like
still
five
more. But
weeks for that.
yeah, you have to wait a lot longer.
Yeah.
So like if you really need something for like next clash, then it could be worse. But overall you still get more.
Yeah,
So it's a bit of a trade-off. I think this system is simpler,
it is. And again,
and
to
it
be
also
fair, everyone making this comparison, it also costs lapis in JP.
yeah. I mean I'm not bothering to compare to JP, I'm just comparing the two systems for us. But
Yeah, but people were making this unrealistic comparison as if they would just convert everything to VIP coins, which is kind of
I guess so.
yeah. I'm not sure they would ever do that because then
Mhm.
yeah, I don't know. So you
Yeah.
might actually. So I feel like you're almost saying you would have chosen the 75.
I'm not sure, because one other nice thing about this one that we're back to is that you don't have to like delay the decision on whether to commit or not till the last day.
Yeah,
Whereas yeah, for the other one you have to keep up with it and sort of decide in that first period whether you're going to get them all or not.
exactly. But you know what's good about the other system, though? The only thing that's good, I prefer this one, but the only thing that's good about the other system is that the shards are permanent. So getting, a random NV off banner that you didn't
Wait,
go in and
no, they're
buy,
not.
they are.
I I don't think they were. I'm pretty sure there's just a separate bug where the countdown timers don't show up currently on
No.
any of the
In
shards.
JP, I mean.
Um, I'm not sure that's how JP's works.
Okay, I thought Sinzar said so.
I
Maybe I
can't confirm.
misunderstood him. I've misquoted Sinzar so many times on these episodes, and the guy's been like going back to me like, "Bharos, this is not true," and I'm like, "Yeah, you know what? I don't care." but yeah,
Yep.
I might be mistaken.
I thought JP had one that had like a very random selection of each week or something, but that might have been a separate one.
That does
Who
sound
knows?
vaguely familiar. It does. It does.
We will speculate and be corrected in comments.
Yeah, for sure, and it also probably doesn't matter because they have now fixed it in an air quote type of way.
Anyway, point is we're sticking with our old system.
Yes. All right, so Legend of Mana.
Mana unit.
Have you played any of the Mana games?
I have not.
Not a single one,
I
really.
saw I've like watched a bit of the Secret of Mana remake that came out last year or something,
Yeah.
and that looked alright, but it didn't really grab me.
Yeah, I think that the Secret of Mana games are kind of cult classics, but in the sense of, again, you had to have been there to experience it. Because so they've been re-releasing the Secret of Mana games, and it's one of my favorite games. And I have this fond childhood memory of renting, yes, Zoomers, renting this video game and playing it with my friend every weekend until we could beat it. And there was this fucker that kept deleting our saves. Like, I swear nobody else rented this game except us, but every fucking weekend this save was deleted. So in the end, we actually got so good at the game that we just, we beat it in one weekend, which was the time you could only
Nice.
rent it for 2 days. So I have very fond memories of the game. But I tried replaying it, and it's really clunky. Like, combat system is super clunky and bad. So maybe the remake, I haven't tried that, but the game still grips my heart. Anyway, this is the shitty game though. Like, this is Legend of Mana. This is like the PS1 or some shit, and it's super weird. Nobody liked it, I think. I don't even know why they remade it. Or did they even remake it? They did, right? They had to have remade it, otherwise we wouldn't be seeing units.
I mean, the news said something about an anime for it, I think.
Oh, really? Of
Maybe?
all the Mana games, They choose Legend of Mana to make an anime. Okay. All right. Somebody likes Legend of Mana, I guess. Surprising, but I guess like there's people that like Final Fantasy 12 too, so anything is possible.
One day we might actually get to the units.
Yeah. You're right. We actually need to get to the units. So which one do you want to do first?
It doesn't really matter much because they're quite similar in what happened to them.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna do like a eeny, meeny, miny, mo with my eyes closed. Okay.
Okay.
And it
Are you
is
ready?
okay. So it's Lord of Light. Fuck, I missed. Okay, but let's take the first tab, which is Pearl.
Okay, cool. So, I mean, both of these units got pretty significant global buffs that kind of bring them up to par, but
Yeah, maybe
nothing
we should have said
crazy.
that, right? Because they are like over a year old, right?
Yeah, or like 6 months out, I think.
Wow.
Yeah, we got this quite late, but so yeah, Pearl in her base form does nothing, to put it simply.
Yep. And this is actually
She,
lore, correct? Like this is how she is
yeah,
in the actual
neither.
game as well. Well,
And then
it's not she does nothing, right? She can hide, and then she can
she can
crouch.
hide and heal herself,
Yeah.
and or use her LB, which does literally nothing.
Well, she does have an
But
auto attack that cures top charm and all status ailments to all allies.
I guess that's true. Like if you want to be really technical.
I mean, you can do like this weird counter build for a boss that keeps imperiling you and, you know, doing all weird ailments. Yeah, I can see it work. Although I guess we have other units that do this too.
But also, like, to not be inflicted by those ailments, she needs to be immune. And if you can be immune to them, just make your whole team immune.
True. Okay. Now you're being awfully technical, I feel.
Anyway, what you'll actually use it for is she can shift for 4 turns on a 4-turn cooldown into her real unit form. And unless she has a couple of chaining skills, which weirdly aren't her main element, but the one thing that she will be used for is her LB, which is a pretty big dark damage hit. It's fairly self-sufficient on debuffs and stuff. The stacks from 330 to 380 normally, and you can use her base attack to buff it by another 50 to 430.
And it works with
And then
Titus.
Titus works on it, so it can go up to 530. And you could technically Titus it up to 560, but all 4 turns of her shift are already kind of spoken for. So because the main global exclusive buff she got, other than just mods and stats, is she got like a Chizuru style stacking amp for herself
Right.
over 3 turns. So you kind of want to use her LB once to stack it, use the amp Grandis, use her basic attack to apply the mod boost, and then use her LB the second time for your actual damage.
So I don't know if you heard about this, but people have figured out a smart way of doing that. Although
Yeah.
I'm not sure if I should call it smart or just me, but
Yeah, you can take, like, if you trigger her basic attack with a counter, that frees up a turn for Tyva's Spirit, you get 560, but it doesn't really feel worth the effort, like 530 to 560, and you're still losing a materia slot on the shift form for it, plus counter gear.
yeah, exactly. You have to have counter gear to begin with because she has no counters innate. So
Yeah, I mean, you would just have a Blizzard Orb and then rely on RNG.
yeah,
But
could like something like Bulwark work here?
yeah, that would work too as an option, but it's
But then you're
jumping
bringing
through
Bulwark.
hoops for a small boost.
Yeah. It's fun to
So
see her, theoretical limit. And even though it doesn't have to be that theoretical, she is pretty strong. Like you said, her mods are actually pretty good. Her stats are pretty good. So as a boring single element dark finisher, how good is she compared to the meta?
like she's like pretty near top tier, but not quite reaching it. So and yeah, is still a completely one note JP damage dealer, offers nothing else. So
Right.
it's like you're not bad, but you're just not amazing.
So if you were Sinzar now, you would say she is absolute garbage.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
That's what.
Yep.
How it would go.
All right. And she has this really weird thing where, as you already mentioned, her base form is absolutely nothing. Which I mean, I understand that it's lore wise, but it's just weird. And actually, let's talk about the next unit before I go into this point. So should we move on to the next unit, or does she have a TMR or STMR that's worth talking about?
Yeah, her TMR is nice for all the Mani units. It's one of those 500 attack for series units, and it also does a 30% Omni killer for them. So it's nice for her, it's nice for Elazul. The rest aren't really relevant physical attack damage anyway, so mostly just those two.
Yep. Yeah, shame.
The STMR is obviously her own preferred weapon. Very high attack hammer.
They're
Keeps
very
her slight
strong.
attack. And yeah, because she naturally hammer imperils with her LB, so
It's really
good
good.
weapon for her.
Yeah.
I think it has the hammer range has one of the highest variance ranges in the game, so
Yeah.
if you really like re-rolling for variance,
Which everyone does.
maybe
Like
you'll
that's
try
the actual game.
if that's the fun part of the game for you, maybe you'll try and use this on some other units
Yeah.
too.
Yeah, I mean, it is worth saying, I guess, that it is a 240 attack, two-handed weapon. And if you can get that hammer imperil somewhere, like, do we have anyone else with a hammer imperil though?
I think Maeve had one, but it wasn't very strong.
Oh yeah, that makes sense that Maeve would have one. Does like Kaito have one? Because he has a ton of them.
Oh yeah, his is for all weapons in Clash, but I don't think. Well, you're not bringing him to Clash, and in Clash you're probably not really variance re-rolling because you're capping
Yeah, yeah.
rather than trying to squeeze out every little bit. But
Well, I mean, you could
yeah,
still be variance
you're right.
rerolling because that could be the thing needed to cap, I guess.
That's true.
Okay.
It's possible,
Yeah, yeah. All right.
but not likely.
So should we maybe move on to our currently strongest dual wheel in the game?
Yeah, I guess you could say that.
I mean, it's technically correct, right? This is the strongest dual wielder in the game.
Yeah, I'm. Well, I mean, maybe that title goes to Berserker Riku right now. Well, actually, you don't dual wield her when countering.
Yeah, right. You don't want to do that, so
I don't know how they technically stack up. Maybe the Quadcast Riku with like a lot of good external buffs and stuff does actually do better. I'm not sure.
okay, yeah.
But also in terms of like, I don't 100% know how Elazul fares when dual wielding because for the wiki mess that I've done, he's only allowed one copy of his STMR.
Right.
So the build he actually uses is double handing his one-handed weapon.
Ah, okay. That turned out to be the best. Yeah, I think I saw. I think on Livedly and maybe even Sensor. No, I don't know. One of them had the TDW build just slightly higher than the TDH build, actually.
Yeah, because I think I'm pretty sure the flat attack on his sword stacks, which is why it used dual wield because 1,000 from each sword is quite a lot.
It is.
So it's much like Dark Rain with his spears.
Yeah, exactly. It makes sense to have two. So yeah, what about El Azul? So you said he is similar to Pearl. Can you elaborate?
I mean, he is SLB rather than Shift, but it's very much the same format of using the like a stacking Grandis up to 100% amp and then bursting with his SLB on turn 3 or 4 and getting in a basic attack for a 50 mod boost beforehand.
Right, right. The only difference there, I
Yeah.
guess, you have to wait for his SLB. So is there a way? Is he kind of like? Could he ever be hurt by you having too high EX levels? Like, could he be harder to use? If you know what I mean.
I guess technically at EX3 you kind of need an external wind imperil for him because his regular LB has wind imperil but his SLB does not. So you kind of want to LB similar to Pearl, kind of want to LB Grandis basic attack SLB.
Right.
But if you externally wind imperil, then having the EX3 is better because then you can just Grandis basic attack SLB.
Right, right. Or,
and
you
full
know,
strength.
counter.
Yeah, that's true. I guess.
If
But
you
it's-
want to.
Technically.
Yeah, yeah, okay. Okay. But it's interesting that this is still a unit that actually dishes out decent damage as a dual wield.
It's again high tier, but not quite top.
Yeah. Yeah, I think like I saw some calcs. I think he and Pearl are very similar in damage.
Yeah, and they're both like at maybe 90% of the very top units.
Right. Which is
in
interesting because like
high tier
normally
comps.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And it's interesting that they are both strong because I was actually just talking about this on the news day where normally you have one unit that's the troll unit. And
Mhm.
in JP, as I understand it, El Azul was the troll.
I think it's partly because, they're collabs, so they don't need to be pool fillers, and it's like it's hard enough to get GL players to pull on JP collabs to start with.
Yeah, I
They're
guess.
not something really popular.
Yeah, exactly. And this is, I'm just going to go out on a limb here and just say, I'm guessing this is not the most popular game that people are going to pull their ass off.
I don't think so.
Yeah. I actually think more players pull for Final Fantasy 12 than this.
Possibly.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we know Shadow did, and that's one person. And I don't know anyone that pulled for this, so.
Well, some people are pulling on this in the attempt to get copies of Flammy.
Ooh, I
Because Flammy's
completely forgot
STMR
that.
is still great,
Yes.
and Randy and Flammy are in the pool.
Yeah, exactly. And Randy is absolutely worthless, and I've gotten 2 of him already.
I got one which at least lets me get the upgraded Mana Blade, though it's not great still. But,
What is it, like a two-handed sword that's decent, or?
no, it's one-handed. Gets up to I think 211 attack and has a 75% killer on it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll never use that ever.
Yeah, probably not. I mean, we'll see. JP is supposed to be buffing True Dual Wield soon, so if they manage to make it some kind of crazy global buff that affects like existing units and not just new ones, maybe some of this stuff comes back to seeing.
True, true. I'm gonna like. I think it's nice that units can be dual wield. I do, and it's especially helps with killer gearing and shit. But I also like the notion of units having this one big strong weapon. Honestly.
I want both to be viable.
Yeah, I guess. I guess that's the right answer. It's just that, in
Yeah.
the history of this game, it's never been both are equally good. It's always been that
Not
one
really,
is the
no.
stronger.
We had a bit of a period, I guess, where multicast was becoming a thing, but true double hand passives hadn't really been added yet. And I think maybe I'm forgetting the order of those, but I feel like there was a brief window where both were reasonably okay.
Yeah. And I mean, maybe I'm being unfair because like dual wield Tifa was still good when she came out.
Yeah, that's fair. Mostly just because our gear wasn't great for forcing the other option.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. Well, let's see. I am interested to see what they will do with True Dual Wield. Like if history repeats itself, then we're gonna get just a 9x modifier for TDW units, and they're gonna call it a day. What do you think they're gonna do?
Honestly, that would probably roughly equalize them.
That's what makes it
But-
so easy.
Well, I mean, if they manage to actually equalize and not just massively swing it back in True Dual Wield's favor, then that'll be good, even if it is a simple fix.
Yeah.
But I don't know, they'll do it in a way that they can sell something new for it.
Yeah, probably, it's probably going to be another core key materia or whatever that you're gonna need for it.
Yeah. New version of Lightning.
Yeah, exactly. But just it's going to be 3x for dual wield units or something. And then, yeah, could be. Damn it. Now I'm all depressed.
We will see.
Yeah, we will see. Let's not read too much into it.
One thing we didn't get as part of this collab that we were kind of supposed to is Hawkeye's crowns.
So you're saying they forgot yet another unit upgrade?
I mean, it's a bit of an awkward one because like Hawkeye was globally buffed on his release for us. So I think because the crowns feed more into like his breaker role, but even after crowns, he still has the 89% defense break in JP, whereas he's already got 90 here.
Right.
But the main thing the crowns give is a 160 Dark Peril as kind of coming into this current Break in Peril series.
Right. That would have been really nice to have.
Yeah, it's a shame to not get that. It'll still be coming, but I'm not hopeful.
Yeah, I doubt it. I mean, we did get Tulian, I guess, so some units we do get upgrades for.
Yeah, but he's permanent and part of story.
Yeah,
they can't easily cut that out.
True. That would require even more effort. I mean, we already have talked about this, that they are actually putting in effort to cut stuff out, but which I also think is another dick move. I would just like to. I mean, again, none of the old units getting upgrades are actually getting meta or strong. They're just getting stronger than they were. They're becoming a little bit more useful, and it's such a shame. I just think it's sad.
Yeah, it's probably still like the biggest downside of global currently.
Yeah, for sure. So the only thing we're getting as an event, well, except for this weird daily quest that you should be doing, is DV, right? Or sorry, Vision World.
That is what we have.
And you can tell just how boring Legend of Mana as a game is, because the bosses like they are really really boring as well, both visually and aesthetically, and all of it. So yeah, not much to say really. Have you done that? Have you done it yet?
Yeah, I've kept the current stages there. Like, I didn't have to gear. I swapped elements, but didn't have to gear any killers.
Yeah.
So they were pretty easy for the OTK team. But the actual hard stages aren't open yet, as of time of recording.
Yeah, and they
So
are
we will
super
review that.
easy. So anyone should be able to. Well, not anyone. Anyone with a decent roster should be able to cap the early stages.
But well, it'll be a bit interesting to see what they do with the late stages, because in JP this was a non-capable vision world, like couldn't share rank 1,
Right.
but GL has reduced the number 1 reward bracket from 50k to 10k lapis, which usually means it is capable.
Right. I really hope it is,
And
because then we can get the
yeah,
10k lapis, all of
probably.
us.
Yeah, that'll be nice. And if they haven't updated the stats of the JP one, then yes, it will be very easy to cap.
Right, right. But I think they have. Somebody was saying that if they didn't
Yeah,
update the stats of the early stages, a Chizuru with no element would cap it.
yeah, they most likely have, but we'll see by exactly how much and how hard it is to cap.
Yeah, it is not like, yeah, depends on just how much they tweet. It's going to be interesting to see. It does, like, looking at sneak peeking at the JP page, it does seem to have like a couple of weird, so the weaknesses on the final boss seem to be fire, ice, wind, earth, and dark. So I'm guessing everyone is
Mm,
bringing an earth team with Sylvie,
Yeah, I
obviously.
mean, Earth is currently the most meta team between Sylvia and Yukiko.
Wouldn't lightning be the snow? Oh, it's earth because Tsuki. Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
yeah, she has the Imperial Field.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Exactly. I was thinking lightning because
Um,
Riku is lightning, but then you would need to bring like Sakura, which
no.
absolutely does nothing else
Al-
for your team.
Also, Riku's counter stuff is elementless. It's only
Yeah,
for
yeah, I was just
LB,
thinking of
that's
her
not for
normal
lightning.
damage, like her LB damage.
Yeah, but you don't use that.
I mean, the thing is with Riku is she's kind of like Riser in this, or she's exactly like Riser in the sense that if you're using her, you're using only her and nobody else, which is the weird
Yeah,
part.
that's if you're using the counter strategy, like you can still use her quadcast, and that's okay.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what
But
I meant. That like if you're using, but can you? She does have an elementalist quadcast then as well, right?
yeah, it's the same basic attack skill for both.
Okay,
You're just countering to trigger it more times.
but how does that compare to her LB then?
Um, Without like Tidus, STMR, and Tyvus, it's stronger. But once you start factoring those in, it might fall off a bit. Depends on the gearing, I think.
Yeah, and I mean Titus is a pretty big jump though. It's 100, right? So it's
Yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
so it's hard to compare in that sense. Yeah, so let's see. I guess like again, people might be using Earth teams. I might be a rebel and use Ice mainly because I also don't have Tsukiko. So and that will allow
Yeah,
me to throw in my girl Frievia into the fray.
yeah.
So let's
I mean,
see.
that's not bad with 75% amp effectively.
Yeah, exactly.
Earth just with Sylvia is still probably best with 100, but
Yeah, but like you have to go. Sometimes you have to go against the flow. All right. You have to be the
that's fair,
cool guy
I
sometimes, like
guess.
stand in a corner with shades on. Like that's who I am. I'm the edge lord. We've talked
Yeah.
about this many
I,
times.
I I have actually noticed that you're quite contrarian in not liking things that are popular and effective.
Oh, are you kidding me? For 100 million%. If I came to school and all the kids liked the movie, oh my god, it was the worst movie I have ever seen. Or if people like I'm just so shallow. It's so simple. Yeah, I just don't like people things that people like. So back when,
Glad we've got that on record.
yeah, yeah, no, like back when chainers were gods and nobody liked using finishers. I love using finishers, but if everyone was using finishers, I'd be using
Yeah.
chainers. Just saying.
Golden Riser. Oh, that's so cool. Wait, everyone's currently using him effectively. He sucks. He's ruined the game.
He sucks. Yes, yes. I might be doing that with Riku now, though. Might be definitely
Yeah.
at least trying it once on this
Look
vision
at
world.
Riku.
So let's see.
Oh, that's good.
So do we
I've
have any?
unfortunately not pulled a Riku, but
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So like it's really difficult to pull her as well because I mean she is on a really shitty banner.
she will just join Ricard in the gang of off banners I would like to get, but never will.
Yeah, yeah. I guess like potentially she's game breaking, but yeah. Then there's what Sinzar is saying that you might not actually be able to use her every time.
Yeah, it needs the boss to do somewhat specific things
Yeah,
to work.
like a lot of physical attacks that don't wipe you, basically.
Yeah, you can technically do it with like Fu and a lot of weak magic attacks as well, but that's even more niche because it'll be harder for her to survive those when evasion's not an option.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Or I guess then you're gonna have to really put in the big mitigations. The good thing here is that contrary to Riser, now we're talking about Riku and we're kind of talking about banners, but we never did an episode on her, I guess. But
Yeah, we're just catching up.
yeah, we're catching up. But the good thing about Riku is that she does not need the chaining support that Riser needs.
Yeah, that's true.
So you,
Because of her tag chains.
so you can fill the team with stuff like, you can put in fucking Shadow Lord with his mitigation, for instance, and stuff like that to make her survive.
And that's the slightly awkward thing about Amaranth, because he can almost kind of do the same thing. He's got some very powerful basic attacks that would be strong if countered a lot, but his aren't tag chains, so you would need to run 2 of them, and then you
both
can't
would
use
need to
cover.
get hit. Yeah, you can't use cover.
Yeah,
then.
you can't use covers.
Yeah, that would be really
It just
sucky.
has to be from like Mirage AoE,
Yeah,
which isn't going to trigger a lot.
and I can recommend, if you haven't seen this in action, go look up Sinzar's video of Riku because it looks insane when it's actually done.
Yeah.
She's like countering to 280 or something on her own.
Yeah. Effectively, it is the damaged version of Chow filling morale.
It is actually. That's wow. Why did you say that? Now I have to hate Riku, and I really don't. Damn it. Well, you know what? I can still be hipster with Riku because I feel like not everyone have Riku compared to Riser, right?
Well, no, that just means it's like a rich kid thing.
Yeah. No, that's perfectly fine. I'm okay with being privileged. No problems with that. It's just I cannot like what the mainstream likes, so it's fine. It's gonna be good. So what else did we skip? We didn't do like. Did we skip anything else really big and important to discuss?
We didn't mention their card, but it's not worth mentioning.
Oh no, I was talking about like old banners that might be worth mentioning.
Oh, I don't think.
Yeah, I think Riku was the big one, right? Like Riku is the big change.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there was some various controversies, I think, and stuff with the new UI update, but whatever.
Yeah. People are now used to it. It is what it is.
My memory doesn't last that long anyway.
Yeah, mine either. I don't even know what last banner was. Actually, I do. It was Dagger because I pulled a Dagger and I'm super happy. I pulled a Kuja too.
Nice.
This game is nice to me for my favorite games. This game is actually nice to me, so I like that.
How much did you spend on FF6?
Which FF6? Wait, you mean Terra's banner?
I remember one of them went really badly.
Yeah, I know. Also, I spent a shit ton on, but it wasn't actually FF6. It was one of the banners. I know I wrote to you in Discord that I caved and had to buy a bunch of bundles to Pity. I don't remember who it was. I think it was Sylvie actually. Yeah, I think it was Sylvie actually.
Might have been.
Yeah. Anyway,
I
I really think we're running out of content, and we've been doing this for an hour now.
Yeah, we've been a bit all over the place, but that's what happens when you don't record for like a month.
Yeah. I'm sure, like, I'm pretty sure nobody's listening still. I know this is a running joke, but it's also fairly true. Like, nobody is still listening. If you are still listening, send feed pics to Dream in DMs on Discord.
No, Bharos, no.
Okay, send feed pics to Cotton on the Discord. I mean, like, 100% she'd be down, so just saying.
Might be against Discord terms of service, but...
Oh, yeah, okay. So upload your feed pics on a image sharing service and then send her the links. Be smart. All right, I think we're fucking done for this week.
Please do not send unsolicited pictures to people.
Especially if you have, like, gross feet. If you have nice feet, it's okay. But, like, if you have gross feet, you need to get, like, a pedicure.
Please stop talking.
Goodbye, everyone.
Damn it.